Okay, is anybody not familiar with what Jira is?
The devil?
You're not wrong. Okay, I had some overview of y'all know what Jira is. Are you aware there's 2 different license sets? I'm talking about on-prem also, or working.
2 license sets.
You did or did not?
I did not.
Okay, so there's 2 different ways that you can use Jira. You got your Jira software, for Agile and Kanban and blah, blah, blah. And then you have your Jira service management, which is your help desk stuff. And so when you're putting in a ticket with a third party, and then you can't edit that ticket anymore, that's JSM. So the agent view looks basically like Jira software, but your customer side has this portal. And that is a much more expensive license for the agents, etc. So there's a whole thing about that.
So we don't live in JSM.
No, probably not. Probably not. Are you aware what Jira is? Do we need to go back?
What?
You know what Jira is?
Yeah.
Cool. So Jira uses JQL, Jira query language. And so finding issues in Jira can be confusing because you're just looking for how things were resolved. You've got resolution date, and resolve. We also have a thing called resolution method, which is not related. But resolved and resolution date are the same thing, just believe it or not. So you could be resolve it after your resolution date greater than, etc. Come on. So some Jira native options. If you're looking for we find things in standard issue types or care issue types, whatever you want to call them. So it's got effects and features and whatever. So issue type is standard issue types. You find all of your subtask types. So this time I'm trying to find all the dev project issue types that are subtasks, and I can look at updating less than 5%, in the last 5 weeks, basically. You can figure out who did what when. So, if this ticket has ever been assigned to somebody or it was updated by somebody. Comments required, so if you want to see if somebody has commented on something, that's not an update apparently, which is frustrating, but that is an option.
I didn't know about updated by. This is great.
Yeah, so that's all. And then you can do updated by after XYZ or between, I think you can do between, but there's resolution changed by so-and-so, status changed from status 1 to status 2. But you can't do this sort of thing with custom fields though. But your resolution, your status, your label, your component, etc. All the built-in fields. Does anybody know if they have script runner? It's a pretty popular plugin. It allows you to do some math, so you can do number of reporters, count by reporter kind of thing. You can't do that on your dashboards or anything, but it would be very useful to pull out stats if you need one-time stats. Or if you
what are those UV looking squiggle braces around it?
So that's part of script runner. That's script runner syntax.
Script runner uses Groovy syntax?
Yeah, it does.
That's wonderful. I like Groovy syntax.
Yeah, all of the customization, Groovy scripting in script runners. Script runners scripts are all in Groovy, even on the cloud, which is nice. Jira Mess Workflow Extensions is Groovy on-prem and is Nunjux in the cloud. You can do issue function, it has subtasks, which is nice. You can do, and these are unfortunately our script runner. So if you have script runner, then you can run these. Some of these are admin only. I don't think any of these are, but issue function in subtasks of subquery, which is really useful. But again, this is all only relevant if you have script runner. Okay, so we have a plugin called Active Directory Sync or something like that. So if you use that, you can also do things like search and find like anybody who's got the office of Omaha, which is nifty. As you can tell, this came from a thing for my office. So there are some gotchas though, like this status change to deployed and status change by Sarah does not get you Sarah changing the deployed status. It just doesn't like conglomerate like that, which is frustrating. And then if you're using some of the script runner stuff, you have to use like extra quotes and state quotes and things like that to get spaces to work. So that's kind of frustrating. You can do subqueries, or sorry, you can do like filters in filters to get around that too. Anybody have questions so far?
So I know next to nothing about the Jira ecosystem.
Okay.
But there is a Jira API. And one day, a few years ago, I like stuck down giant piles of JSON.
Okay.
And so I wonder, in the Jira ecosystem, is there anything that like vacuums out the JSON and then lets you ask it questions instead of plugins like the ones you're talking about?
So all of the things that I was using, you can use in the Jira search, like on your Jira instance. I don't know much about consuming the API, frankly. Yeah.
No worries. It's all good.
So if there are tools, I don't know of them.
It's okay.
So I am talking QA, and I'm kind of slowly but surely doing more and more DevOps work, but the QA in a general sense, I'm sure, is everybody here a developer? Okay.
QA's got our backs.
Yeah, that's what I'm there for.
That's really good.
Yeah. So how do you all handle QA feedback in your tickets?
Do it right away.
Right, but is it like comments? Is it a separate ticket? How do you like?
If it gets caught, so in the shop that I'm currently working at, we don't have any full-time QAs. And so you get a lot of feedback during the pull request process.
Okay, sure.
And sometimes that results in a bug ticket. It'll get worked. But frequently you're in the PR process. In other shops where I've worked, there have been full-time QAs. And the way they did it there was the QA people would find a problem and you would work at the very next sprint.
Okay.
The problems always get first.
So it would be a separate ticket?
Yeah.
Like a standard parent ticket?
Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
We have kind of two workflows, one for tasks that originated in QA and one for tasks that are QA needed for a feature originated by a Jira product. So the Jira product originated ones have a QA subtask attached, and the ones that are QA originated does the QA is the main.
So before we moved to Jira, we did comments on the parent ticket because we were using an antiquated system, and we had someone suggest, an outside consultancy suggest that we were doing that with Jira. So I was like, yes, it's like, that's silly because we've done this thing where we have subtasks in its own workflow now. So you have a parent ticket of like work, and then you get a QA task that is your defect. Or the other thing is the way we've set up our workflow is that you could set up all your test cases of like verify XYZ, so forth and so on, of all your test cases that you would be testing on your issue. And you can either approve or mark it as failing and then send it back. And so the advantage of that, and maybe this is how everybody does this already anyway, so just listen to me blather on, is that, each issue has, each bug has its own subtask, so it doesn't get lost. And that was a big thing that we were dealing with before we switched to this system, was somebody would see I'd have like 5 comments on a single ticket, and they deal with 1, 2, 5, and 6, or whatever, and then I get it back and be like, but you didn't deal with 3, because they just didn't see it. I don't remember that solved. So this solves a big issue for us. The other thing is like if you have a larger team, you could assign out the different subtasks to different developers or different QA. Our team is small enough that that's not a thing that basically ever happens, but there's a way you can handle it. It also lets every ticket have its own, or sorry, every issue have its own status. And so the other thing, like I said, when like I did, even if they fixed 1 through 5, but 3 was still broken, I'd have to send it back with being like, oh, 3 is still broken. And so like the changes, because the comment change was really long and confusing, because I'm like, well, 3 is still broken, and then you have issue 6, 7, and 8, so forth and so on. So anyways, this is what our workflow looks like for the QA subtask specifically. So like I was saying, you can have your open, oh, you're not seeing my, oh, hey. Yeah, okay.
You don't have it overcome by events.
I'm sorry?
I
don't know what that is.
Flying for, we don't care about this anymore, it's overcome by events.
Oh, that's not applicable.
Okay, very nice, very nice.
Yeah. So your open status is like, this exists, this, it says he's verified, and then you can either make it verified or fail, and then if it's failing, then it can get fixed. Or you can put the won't fix, that's another option. And then the developer sends it back to me and I put it as either verified, fixed, or still failing. And those are our end states. Waiting would be like, I can test all of these things, but this other thing is a blocker, and so this test case is waiting to be tested. And this falls in the, the disadvantage of this is that you have a bajillion tickets, and you have to look at every single ticket to see everything all together. This occupies this very little itty bitty space right in the middle of our giant overarching workflow. This is what works for us. That's all I have, unless anybody has other questions about Jira.
Awesome. So you do all your JQL node writing and web browser with Jira? Okay. Well, for all I know, the cool people like put them somewhere.
Oh, gotcha. So you can save a filter on Jira. So like you do your search and then you like save it and like use that to put it on dashboards, to use it in boards, to like filters in other filters, etc.
Okay. Cool.
You can subscribe to filters, so like it shows, it does it every week and then send you an email.
Great, thank you very much. I want to know more about Jira, but I don't want to spend more time.
I don't blame you. Jira is a great workflow tool. It is a terrible project management tool because reporting, at least in my experience, is very hard to get out. What we've wound up doing as an organization is shoving a lot of it into Power BI and then letting Power BI do the massaging of the data.
What do you not like about the report?
It's hard to get a lot of good stats depending on what you're looking for. I know that our team, we have a lot of engineering folks using this for like actual engineering tasks and workflow stuff. And we also have a plugin called Tempo for logging work against those tickets. And they want to be able to like, much like Microsoft Project, to project out how long these tasks are going to take and that sort of thing. And that's very hard to do inside of Jira, to get Jira to spit out that information.
Like calculate a projected close date, right?
Yeah. And just like when somebody's going to be on vacation and how many hours they have to allocate things and very.
And you can do that however you have.
I mean, you can, once you have the data, you can massage it the way you need to do it. Jira also does things like it won't surface certain items, and so I've had to create several
fields.
Yes, fields.
Yeah.
Excuse me, of data. So I had to create a custom field for channel or JSM. I had to create a custom field for like last updated status date, right? Like all these things that should be available, you would think that it's calculated.
Well, you would think it would be indexed even if it wasn't named,
yes.
Right? So I guess I don't understand why they wouldn't index custom fields. Like, that's not that hard, right?
Yes, I see what you're saying. So some fields are indexed, and some of them, if they're running into problems where the custom plugin hasn't built out the indexing for that custom field.
Yeah.
And so the third party or the Jira itself doesn't know how to read it. So that's part of it. Or Atlassian just didn't bother. Like I was saying with the channel for JSM, channel is data in the database.
Right.
But I have to surface it in a custom field because they chose not to do that.
Right.
Atlassian has its benefits and its drawbacks. I could go on and on. Any other last questions, comments? Thank you for.
Thank you.